Welcome to the next session of Waterfall Model. In this session, we are going to understand different elements of a project. And so as to manage a project, you need to manage these all elements of a project. Let us understand what all those elements are. Here you can see different elements of a project. The first one is scope, which is derived from the requirements. Scope could be product scope or project scope. Then you have schedule. You need to manage schedule throughout your project life cycle. Initially, you must be estimating the schedule depending on the information that is available, and you might refine your schedule for your project, the duration of your project as more and more information gets available. You also need to manage the cost. Cost would involve cost of resources, cost of execution, cost of machinery, cost of raw materials, and initially you might have to estimate the cost, and you have to manage cost throughout your project. You have to manage change also, like if your customer or any stakeholder is coming up with any change in your project, you will have to understand what change process you need to follow so as to incorporate those changes once those changes get approved. Resources could be in the form of human resources or raw materials or machinery that are required for your project. You need to manage these all resources throughout your project life cycle. You need to build a product of utmost quality, and so as to build a product of utmost quality, you will have to ensure that you build quality in your product, that is defect free, and you are not allowing any bugs in your product, and your product should meet all the expectations of your customer. The next element is communications. Communications with all the stakeholders of your project, like communication with the customer, communication with the team, communication with the sponsor and other stakeholders of your project. You need to manage these all communications throughout the project life cycle. Risk is also one of the important elements of a project. Risk could be related to schedule, cost, resources, quality. It could be related to any aspect of your project. So you need to manage risk throughout your project life cycle. Then you have stakeholders. Stakeholders could be your customer, your senior managers, your sponsors, or your team. Stakeholder could be you yourself is also one of the stakeholders. So these are the individuals or the groups who impact your project in positive or negative manner. Even competitor is a stakeholder. So you need to manage expectations of these all stakeholders throughout your project life cycle. Then we have procurement. If you have to outsource some part of your project, then you will have to procure that amount of work from some vendor or group of sellers. So that comes under procurements. So this way you will have to manage these all elements of a project.